things that I want to talk about as well. But I want to start off with this story. So this is from the New York Times, and this story goes into a little bit more in depth into just how prepared the Uvalde's police response were. Like how, again, one of the parents, this quote, in no disrespect to these parents, but one of the quotes when the parents were speaking to the news on the day of the shooting is one of the parents felt that the cops were unprepared to do the job. And so I just want to note that they were not unprepared. They were literally as prepared as any police force in any city could possibly be. It's just that they chose at that moment not to do anything. So I want to read this article here from the New York Times. In mass shootings, police are trained to confront the attacker. Responding to a call of a mass shooting, police officers in the United States are trained, above all else, to stop the gunman, act with urgency, defend innocent lives. As new questions emerged on Friday about the police response to the shooting at Robb Elementary School in Uvalde, Texas, experts described those principles as the central tenets for handling such circumstances, a set of protocols that have evolved significantly over the past 2 decades but are widely accepted by law enforcement agencies in the United States. Officers are taught to enter quickly in small formations or even enter with only 1 or 2 officers to disable any gunman. Texas protocols included in materials that Uvalde police officers were trained on as recently as 2 months ago. In March, these cops, during like a weekend or like an off day or after school, they went into this very school to do a training demonstration 2 months ago. Again, they were not unprepared. They were literally, historically, the most prepared police force probably that ever could exist. It's just incredible. Advise that an officer's first priority is to move in and confront the attacker. This may include bypassing the injured and not responding to cries for help from children. An entirely different approach may be called for if the gunfire ends, experts say. Then police are trained to use slower tactics appropriate for a barricaded gunman or hostage situation. The guidelines sound straightforward, but the scenarios often are not. The protocols have been examined time and time again after the last 2 decades amid devastating massacres in cities around the country. Officers must make moment-by-moment judgment calls based on often incomplete information in shifting, highly volatile situations where every second is essential, and none of it, experts acknowledge, can serve as an antidote for the underlying problem of gunmen intent on causing violence inside grocery stores, churches, and schools. This is another piece of information I might touch more on over the next coming days. But the Border Patrol agent that eventually killed the gunman in Robb Elementary School literally defied the police orders. And I read a report that he was not even part of an official team. He was just some law enforcement officer that heard that something was going on and went to go see the area. That's what I read. I'm going to look into that more and maybe do another segment on that tomorrow. But he literally was just like, the cops aren't doing anything. I'm going to go in because and the cops aren't going to arrest me because I'm a higher ranking police official. Right? So I read that. I'm not sure how, what the veracity of those details are. But I'm going to look into that more as well. And so it's very incident specific, said blah, 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 retired police captain. I don't care what they have to say. Still, in a school shooting, law enforcement should err on the side of neutralizing the threat, said Ronald Tunkel, a retired agent for the Bureau of Alcohol, blah, 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 who cares? If you know children are being murdered, why do you wait? He said, get in there. Well, okay, I agree. In Uvalde, where 19 children and 2 teachers were killed on Tuesday, the director of Texas Department of Public Safety, Stephen C. McCraw, said on Friday that the commander overseeing the police had made the wrong choice when he treated the evolving situation as a barricaded subject rather than an active shooting. As police officers gathered in the school halls, children made multiple 911 calls from inside the classroom over a period of more than an hour. There's been a report. More details are coming out about the timeline of this tragedy. Turns out that the kids called 911 at least 4 times that I've read as of this moment. Like 4 times over the course of an hour. So like 10 minutes, call the cops. 20 minutes in, call the cops again. Where the fuck are you? 40 minutes in, where the fuck are the cops? Hello? Right? It's insane. Of course, it was not the right decision, Mr. McCraw said. It was a wrong decision, period. There's no excuse for that. Okay, great. How about you resign? Because you're apparently the director of Texas Department of Public Safety. You're not keeping anyone safe. How about you resign? You take responsibility for this. The rot, right, is institutional. The rot is not just in this local police department. The rot is statewide, countrywide. The rot of this is all over the country. So, it's insane. It's insane. Anyway, the rest of this you can read is just cope and like explaining how bad the situation is. But the real takeaway in this story is that they did a training drill 2 months ago. These motherfuckers were prepared. They knew what to do. They chose not to. For those of you that don't know, there's a Supreme Court precedent that says that police have no responsibility to protect you. People have been throwing that around a lot lately. The only reason why police exist in this country is to keep you in line. That's it. That's it. The threat of police, right? It doesn't matter. School shooting, we don't care about the school shootings. We only care about, are people going to go on strike? Are people going to protest? Can we beat the fucking shit out of black people who are playing with a Lego set in the park? That's all they care about. It's to keep you in line. They don't care about protecting you. They don't need to protect you. It's never been about protection. It's been about control and manipulation. That's why, again, black kids with toys, they're gunned down. 12-year-old black kids, 13-year-old black kids, doesn't matter. 8-year-old black kids are gunned the fuck down, playing with fucking toys, Legos, dinosaurs, whatever it is, right? But a school shooter? Sorry, bro. That's a little too scary for me. It's insane. It's insane. Again, 2 months ago, they did a training drill for this very scenario 2 months ago. They were not unprepared. They were highly prepared. They were an elite team of the most prepared people on planet Earth. It's just that they chose not to do anything. Like, imagine if on, like D-Day, right, in World War II, like, they dropped the motherfuckers from the plane, and then all the soldiers are just like, and they just start, like, lighting up cigarettes, right? Like, there's fucking, like, there's a war going on, right? Like, the Germans are fucking gonna kill you, and they just drop out of the planes and just, like, that's basically, like, again, they knew, they had plans, they were prepared, they trained for it, just at the last minute, fuck it. I'm bored. I don't want to do this shit. It's insane.